we are all a little bit shell shocked because, courtesy of Six, you
I did nothing.
demonstrated to us
the
new Jaguar concept of what the new car is going to look like. Tom, let's share the joy with the audience, shall we? We all saw the commercial for Jaguar, and
Jaguar.
Yeah, and now we we have the car. We have the Barbie car straight out the Barbie world. It don't look too bad in that particular angle. Like if it was black, that would make for a decent Batmobile. But if you go further up and we see the front view is kind of like what did me in. There we go. Yeah. Copy nothing. Apart from Tesla, only ugly, pink, and gay.
Actually,
it looks like the Cybertruck.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's Or if you remember back into the mid 2010s, do you remember the Cadillac that looked like a tuxedo? The Cadillac concept car. It literally looked like a tuxedo. It was very similar front end styling.
And I don't know why this looks like the face of a pig.
Somebody called it the Miss Piggy Mobile in my chat.
I didn't see it before you said it right now, but yeah, now all I can see is Miss Piggy.
Yeah, it's Miss Piggy.
I mean, it has her eyes.
This leaked early enough to get it out in the public and in the press and everything else to maybe try to build hype or more controversy, which I
don't even think we can say this, but yeah.
I didn't even put it on the screen.
Yeah, I have now heard this enough. I'm a bit tired of it. I mean, stop it, guys. Like,
this is the first time I've heard it, but I can imagine after that last ad, like
20,000 posts later.
Forget the scribe light bedroom appliance.
Thank you, Hyperguyver, but we can't say this out loud.
Yeah, we appreciate the support to everyone who can read it. But still, I have to say, though, you remember that movie that Sacha and Baron Cohen made after Borat? Bruno, the gay Austrian character, yeah? This car looks like something that would have been designed out of a parody in a Bruno movie.
Well, so did that commercial. Now that you brought that up, it's like, yeah, the commercial looked like something out of Bruno, too. It's like, what the hell? Did Sacha Baron Cohen design this whole thing?
I thought it was satire. First time I saw it, I thought this has to be some kind of like internet like gag that somebody put together.
You'd think so. But
well, that's what I was joking about. I'm like, this kind of shit was being made fun of already back in the 90s and stuff with Boomerang, that movie with Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're doing the fragrance for Grace Jones's character or whatever. It was basically the same kind of crap in there. But
one of my favorite cars is the Chrysler 300, which looks like a gangsta car. I love it. I think for a big car, it's one of my favorite designs. And this just looks like a bad version of it.
Yeah.
I just, the front end is not attractive. And think about this. This is going to be this is a concept for their electric vehicle future.
Right.
Look at the drag on that.
I was just going to think of that.
Yeah, I was.
And the drag in
you
it.
mean a different kind of drag?
Yeah, no. I mean, this thing is definitely flaming, right? And who knows if it catches on fire like their eyepaces did? But there you go. But the bigger problem is it's going to be like just this giant drag. I don't know. Now you got to overcome drag.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to maintain electrical power. Now, ironically, one of the cars that was designed to within an inch of its life to alleviate drag, and those wheel hubs aren't going to cut it, is the Mercedes-Benz EQA or EQS or whatever it's called. I can't remember. And they put that through endless wind tunnel design testing, and the thing looks like dull crap. Like when you design for some massive car to slip through the air beautifully, you end up with junk.
But okay, so I'm going to ask you a question: who has $92,000 to $117,000 for this car?
Well, the whole new rich Gen Zs out there that have that fly LGBTQ flags in their washrooms.
Well, it's funny that Andre mentioned the Batmobile. You know what this reminds me of, Andre? It doesn't look so much like the Batmobile, but it looks like the Batmobile after the protective shell comes over top of it. Remember in the first Batman movie? He's like, shields. And then the thing goes... Yeah.
Do you see the transition to the windshield? That is going to be a
That's
problem.
bad. That's just ugly on the side there. That transition does not work visually at all.
And I never understood why the Batmobile needed shields. It was already like bulletproof and explosion proof.
Yeah, but that's extra toy material.
True. It was just, you know what it was, Paul? It was a stupid piece of cheap plastic you put over top. I'm not even kidding.
Oh,
I am not. It came with it.
Yeah.
It is like the cheapest like plastic you could find. Like, that really thin shit that they used to, even cheaper than the old plastic Halloween masks. But anyway.
Maybe the front end is kind of an elasticy material and it has active damming, so it pushes it out to be more round when you're driving.
I don't know. They're trying to do like some Art Deco kind of thing, and that's probably where you're getting the Batman kind of flair from it. But
yeah, see everything starting at
it
the
looks like a penis,
back,
really, at the end of the day.
Look at the steering. Wait, now that's the steering wheel. That oval thing. Hang on.
Yeah.
That oval thing is the steering wheel.
How are you supposed to sit in there?
Where's the instrument cluster?
Oh no. Okay. So listen, guys. In concept cars, they always overdo the interior and make them utterly impractical. That I don't even count that.
Okay, but look, you have a giant beam down the center, and somebody in my chat had mentioned that this kind of looks like a boat design. It popped in like a Chris Craft.
None of this is going to be there.
Well,
in the final design, guaranteed.
We hope not.
No. Maybe the corrugated
dashboard,
the dashboard, but the yoke it doesn't work. I mean, it's just.
Well, honestly, I kind of hope it will be there in the final version. I mean, they said they're going to be so unique and everything like that. I mean, then go for it. You know what this also is like? This is a little bit like another Batmobile, namely the Lincoln Futura. Remember, in that one also had like the separate coupes in the.
That's the original one from the 60s.
Yes, exactly.
I was going to say that. Yeah. Only it's like they stripped out all of the gadgets. Yeah.
But that was cool. I mean,
exactly. That was cool.
That was insane.
And this is supposed to make sure you keep your hands to yourself. It's all about consent, guys.
Well, okay, they're trying to copy or steal from Tesla's open yoke design, where there's no top on the wheel. Because you've seen the 3 and the Y, where it has like
people have been trying yoke designs for 100 years. I've seen them in many cars. It's always been something that they go for because it's the F1 style, right? It's a yoke.
Yeah.
This is kind of nice. It's kind of a boat. I like the colors, but I mean, it looks like bench seating also weirdly.
with a giant beam that divides.
Yeah.
This is not working. And in the picture I saw, it looked like what would have been a cup holder, or something on the right. So I don't know. This is an odd picture.
If this car was purple, I mean, there's a little bit of Batmobile in it, only like Barbied up. If this was purple, would it have been a fine Joker mobile?
Or a Penguin mobile or something like from the new series.
It's obviously a Miss Piggy mobile, but...
Don't you have to put yellow or green on the interior for that?
I don't know.
Classically, yes, for the Joker. Yeah. Or piping or something,
Yeah. Anyway, I laughed for 20 straight minutes. I don't know if I can do anymore, but I just, this thing is ridiculous. I mean, concept cars usually are not practical and will never be made. There've only been a couple in history that have ever been built in production. And I don't know, Paul, you're the car guy.
So what they do with these concept cars is provide what is called design language. So if you take a look, guide. I mean, if you take a look at the really early Toyota supercar, the LS, I can't try to remember the name of it. It was a wacky looking car, and you can tell. I mean, and that came out almost 15 years ago, and a lot of the Lexus cars have over time slowly evolved that design language. I'm trying to remember the name of the bloody car. I don't think you care, but LVX Sports Supercar. What's it called?
Well, I actually have the reveal for this car here. There you go. What the hell is that?
Any questions? What does this monstrosity cost, Jerry? What's the sticker price?
And they love it.
$82,000.
This monstrosity costs $82,000.
$82,000.
I'm ruined.
Yeah, and they love it. Everybody loved it.
Oh, they all laughed. That's
No, they all laughed.
Yeah.
It cost his brother his fortune. Yeah.
And the funny thing is that when the Cybertruck was presented to the public, that thing right there went viral. And this, I mean, if anything, this car owes a great deal of debt to the Cybertruck because it kind of like paved the way for it. And I've said before, I'd love a Cybertruck. Give me one that runs on diesel and I'll get it right now. But I need one that I'm not having any of this EV shit. So, yeah.
The difference is I'd actually buy a Homer car. That thing is amazing.
But from this, I have to say, I'll be completely honest. From the side, if that thing was black or like gray or something, the profile from the side ain't too bad. It's from the front that we have an issue. And also, this is something that they bragged about. There's no back window. So you're completely reliant on screens in order to be able to see what's happening behind you.
Is that legal even?
Yep.
Yes. Yep. Same with the Cybertruck. You can't see it. You have the same thing there. Again, another thing it copied from the Cybertruck. You can't see behind you, only by way of screens because there's no window behind you.
So if this car was smoke gray and the marketing plan had been like James Bond, would we be even complaining, or would we be saying it's a pretty cool car?
I'm going to be completely honest. The front needs work, but with a different color. And some, like this thing right here, it's only one redesign away from being something I would say is cool.
It doesn't look all that much different, though, than a lot of the other more recent sports cars, though, to me, honestly, other than the front, like you said. Yeah.
The front and the back are not the best.
No.
Yeah. But from the side, it looks like every other Charger or whatever kind of car.
Well, it looks like it looks like a lot of the other classic Jaguars from the windshield back, but like I said, this is not efficient for an electric design. I'm sorry, it just isn't. It's got lots of problems. This was never imagined to be aerodynamic in any way. That's the thing. So.
I believe this is an issue for a sports car.
Yeah.
Well, it's a GT.
Yeah, like they're supposed to be able to go a little bit fast, aren't they? So it helps if it's a little bit aerodynamic to facilitate rapid acceleration, doesn't it? I mean, Paul, you're the car guy.
Well, I mean, they're probably going to be going for two motors. It's a little bit more difficult to put in a ton of batteries, although they do have some technology from their I-Pace that allows for a faster charge, so they don't need as much batteries as they claim Tesla needs to go for the same kind of mileage. Again, it's going to be a heavy car. It's going to be 6,000 pounds, and that kind of weight changes the experience. And there's no amount of technology that you can throw into the suspension. I mean, yeah, you can do air ride, which they probably will include, but then air ride uses up batteries, and they go bad fast. Air ride is one of the worst things you can have in a car from a reliability perspective. So I don't know. I don't think this is. Yeah. What are you going to say about it? I mean, it's so far it's ugly, but the designer he is quoted. I did read his quote. He said that he wanted to polarize people with the design.
He did.
I love it when people have like this thing. I want to piss off half the people. I don't think that this is a very good motivation to have, especially when he includes probably most of Jaguar's existing customers right now. The people who are like reliable Jaguar customers who will get each new model because they can't afford it and stuff. Are those the people you want to piss off this way? I'm not so sure that's the right move. I think that you'd be better off starting a completely brand new thing rather than to hijack Jaguar. You want to do what DeLorean did and start a whole new thing, something to rival Tesla, to blue sky the car or pink sky the car in this particular case. I think that would be a better way than to try to hijack an existing brand with a very clearly defined brand identity, which this is nothing like at all. I mean, this is, if there's a criticism against this car, just in terms of the branding, there is nothing of Jaguar's traditional branding here. And at that point, if you're just going to bury the brand that you had, you might as well just start over with a completely brand new car. I mean, it's owned by Tata in India, right? They might as well have continued the traditional Jaguar, but then start a brand new line of Miss Piggy cars.
Yeah, it's Bud Light thinking.
Yeah.
Recent Bud Light thinking.
I was just going to say, nobody's going to buy this thing, right? Like, because the people you're trying to advertise to don't give a shit about cars. And if they do, it's nothing like this. Right?
You know who I think the target audience for this is? Who are virtue signaling enough that they want this, and at the same time they can't afford it? White guys for Harris.
Yeah, exactly. Rich guys who
much.
don't like Trump. Rich guys who don't like Trump will buy this in order to
So all three of them.
underscore the message. Yeah.
Mark Hamill will get this. What's the dude from Star Trek?
Mark
Strange New Worlds?
Ruffalo and
Ruffalo will get this.
Anson Mount
Anson
can't
Mount.
afford this.
Anson Mount, yeah,
Are you
Anson
kidding
Mount, he'll
me?
get this.
He don't make enough money to afford this, Andre. No way.
Have they said what the price is on this thing yet? Have they even?
It's $100-some thousand, ain't it?
Oh,
That's
is
why I
it?
was making fun of it with the fucking.
So I just
Homer.
want to bring up an update.
The most beautiful car in the world.
Yeah, how'd you know? So this is the Stradale, the Alpha Stradale 33.
Yeah.
And this is the 1967 version. Okay.
Wow.
It is absolutely stunning. Now,
It looks
to
like
do
James
further,
Bond had sex in that thing.
This
It's
is
the perfect car.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But look what a successful job they did. I'm going to stop this, and then I'm going to bring up the new version.
I take that back. It looks like James Bond was conceived in that thing.
Probably.
So I'm going to share this one here. And this is how they managed to update it, make it modern, and still keep the look and feel and history of the car. It is.
I'll have that car, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's the most beautiful car in the world.
I was just
It
going to say,
is
you know what
stunning.
this car says to me? This car says, you know what the other car says to me?
Well, yeah. My point is that they spent a lot of time trying to bring the DNA of the Stradale and forward and modernize it. And it's stunning. This car is stunning. And Jaguar completely pooched it from that perspective.
And
The
we're not
problem with the Jaguar car is you keep thinking it sprung a leak.
Yeah.
It's true. Well, that particular vehicle, also the interior
Oh,
was
my goodness.
redesigned in a way that honored the previous car.
Yes.
And it's gorgeous inside. I mean, especially with the leather, the multi-leather designs and the piping and everything, it feels like, every hand-built seat is amazing. It's just, if you want a car that's special and costs that much money, that's what you get. You do not get a Jaguar.
The British pronunciation, Jaguar.
They make me say it that way. If you realize I had like 60,000 comments in that video, like you're not saying it right. Well, okay, I'll work on that.
And if you take a look at the logo, the G and the U are capitalized to emphasize that. Jaguar.
Their logo sucks now, though.
If you take a logo, they are actually having us on by cap. Now the G has to be capitalized because they've got all this lowercase letter thing going on, and the lowercase g has got that dangling bit that doesn't fit into their design. But the U they removed the ankle. It's called, when you're designing typefaces, that little stick on the right hand side of like the A and the R's, not the R, but the A's and things like that.
I used to call it the kickstand, but whatever.
Yeah, it's called an ankle.
Yeah.
And they've removed the ankle. It's a subtle thing. It's really hard to see, but again, they're trying to emphasize the Jag U-R.
They took the J and they spun it upside down.
Yeah, for the R.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad a car company's giving me elocution lessons.
Well, yeah.
I did not expect to talk about this for 20 minutes.
Sorry.
I did. I knew this was going to be. I want to hear what the chat has to say, because this is a terrible looking vehicle. I'm sorry.
Well, let's see what they have to say.
And it's going to have to be a 4-seater. They're going to have to stick another 2 doors on it.
Mark Field says with $1.99, what? No magenta? I know, right? STR Red Wolf says with 5, all this Jaguar redesign does is add to the list of vehicles my characters will reuse and recycle into spare parts of my story. Interesting, STR Red Wolf. And then we got Mr. Tickle Trunk who says, biggest crime from Jaguar. This looks boring as fuck. Yeah. Like I said, it's not really reinventing anything at the end of the day. It just kind of looks like a car, but it's pink and gay. Bass Player 2011 Iffy says with $4.99, thank you. This looks like every concept car from circa mid 2000s. The final product will never look like this. Yeah, that's what Paul was saying too. Yeah. And then we've got Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle who sends in 5 and says, I had an 06 300C and loved it. Sadly, the Chrysler brand has been starved to death and the CEO has just stepped down.
Oh, well, because they completely screwed up the North American strategy. They had no idea what North American car buyers wanted. It's the dumbest. I don't get it. It's not as if they don't sell many cars in the United States. What a shock. I had no idea that the Americans have certain taste for cars. I'm complete. Although he's Italian, so I have to do my bad Italian accent. I don't know what the Americans are doing.
You know, you were very successful at that bad Italian accent.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a perfect blowout right there.
This clip was taken from Midnight's Edge in the Morning, which streams live every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on the Midnight's Edge main channel. There you can send in your live questions and comments before clips and full stream replays are uploaded to Midnight's Edge live archives. We are also on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey and Facebook, so smash that like, help share, subscribe and join us.